For today's video, I'm going to give a demonstration of how I make miniature electronics. So I have here an ad that I found in a 1965 issue of Popular Electronics, and I'm going to copy both of the devices shown in this ad. I started by taking some balsa that had been cut into the size and shape that I wanted. I then glued down a piece of mahogany to the front and polished it. Following this, I glued some pieces of styrene on the upper half of the front and side, and then painted those sections black. I cut a strip of paper from my tack stub and rolled it around a couple dowels and then glued it in place. To get all the buttons and dials and stuff, I cut the lids off some 1/35 scale canteens and then glued them to the control panel. I then painted the control panel and the knobs. After this, I added the top and side panels, which I painted with a sponge just to do things a little differently. To make the second piece of electronic equipment, I started by taking a rectangular piece of balsa and then glued on part of an aileron that I took from a balsa wood airplane kit. Once I had achieved the shape that I wanted, I filled and sanded the gaps and then covered it all with styrene. I then took some spare bits and pieces that I had laying around to use as cooling vents, access panels, and other details. And I used some more canteen lids for all the knobs and dials on the control panel. After priming, I painted the whole thing gray. Then I painted the controls in a variety of colors, and I used a marker to sketch out the instrument panel. After building the lab equipment, I decided it was time to make something a bit more ordinary. So I built a stereo receiver. I started with a piece of balsa that was the right size and shape. After covering the top and sides with mahogany veneer, I glued a piece of styrene to the front. The volume, bass, treble, and mid knobs once again came from canteen lids. After I painted the faceplate with Tamiya flat aluminum and the knobs black, I decided I was done. And that's how I build miniature electronics. I'll be making a few more items like this for a project I'm currently working on, which will be featured in an upcoming video. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, then by all means leave them in the comments. Until then, I'll see you next time.